top 5 favorite TARDIS teams. Everyone has their favorite lineup of characters in Doctor Who, or TARDIS teams or crews as they are sometimes known. I'm not talking about favorite doctors or even favorite companions but actual favorite combinations. Now granted, these often include people's favorite doctors or companions, but, for example, more people probably prefer the Fourth Doctor and Sarah than they do the Third Doctor and Sarah, even if they may also love the Third Doctor and Jo. That's just the way these things work. So, without further ado, or incoherent rambling as it's sometimes called, here I present to you my top 5 favorite TARDIS teams of all time. Yes, even including the new series, which you all know I just love so much. Tee-hee. 5. The Sixth Doctor and Peri. Possibly a somewhat controversial choice. What me, controversial? Perish the thought, but while fandom as a whole often looks down on these two and their time together, many people do in fact love them, and I'm one of them. Colin was a hilariously wonderful Doctor, and his relationship with Peri is one of the funniest in the series, with the two of them constantly bickering with one another in a highly amusing manner. Some people don't like this, yet oddly don't seem to mind that eternal whiner Tegan constantly picking fights with the much more mild-mannered Fifth Doctor. Here you can pretty much sympathize with Peri's exasperation with the ever-preening and pompous Sixth Doctor, and they are frequently a right giggle to watch. Many of their stories are wonderful too, particularly in the oft-overlooked and unfairly maligned Season 22, and they certainly play a big part in their success. 4. The 11th Doctor and Amy, and sometimes Rory. Now I don't want to be mean to Rory, as I do like him rather a lot and he's certainly the best of the male companions in the new series, but my preference is simply for the team of the 11th Doctor and Amy whether Rory is there or not. I mean, two of the greatest stories of this pair are The Time of Angels two-parter and Vincent and the Doctor, in which Rory is conspicuous by his absence, so what's a guy to do? But yeah, Matt Smith and Karen Gillan are wonderful together, and indeed the latter is just generally wonderful to start with. Their characters and their natural chemistry shows very much on screen, and they are a team I find very, very easy and enjoyable to watch. They can't save Series 7A of course, but then they're not fucking miracle workers. 3. The 7th Doctor and Ace. My TARDIS team, as the cool kids almost certainly do not say these days. Sylvester and Sophie were, like many on this list, one of those pairings that clicked just as well off-screen as they did on-screen, and it shows. The combination of the mercurial, whimsical and slightly sinister 7th Doctor with the bolshy but vulnerable tomboy teenager is one of the best in the history of the series, and, as is the case with every pairing on this list, just elevate their stories simply by their sheer presence. 2. The 4th Doctor and Romana too, and sometimes K9. This was a difficult one, simply because I really only wanted to put one pairing from the 4th Doctor on my list, and there was never any doubt in my mind that it was going to be this one, but Tom is one of those rare Doctors who clicks almost equally as well with a number of companion combinations. I'm not as big a fan of the overhyped 4th Doctor and Sarah pairing as some, though I do like them better with Harry the too, but I am also a very big fan of the 4th Doctor and Leela and 4th Doctor and Romana 1 combos too. Tom was just awesome, let's face it. But yes, the pairing of him and the lovely Lalla Ward created off-screen sparks that came across very obviously on screen, and this witty, sophisticated and shamelessly flirty pair of Time Lords exploring the universe and laughing at it with their pompous robot dog by their side is one of the most iconic and beloved in the whole show. I love them so very, very much. 1. The 1st Doctor, Ian, Barbara, and Vicky. Surprise. Or not, as the case may be. I choose these guys as my favorite TARDIS team simply because of the definition. They're not just a pairing, with 4 different characters each as vital to the success of the dynamic as the other. They really are a team in every sense of the term, and I don't think there's a better ensemble dynamic anywhere in the program. I mean, William Hartnell, William Russell and Jacqueline Hill are every bit as awesome in the first season as they are in the second, but Susan is a bit of a damp squib in every department and is very much the weak link in the original lineup. But the arrival of the lovely Vicky, played by the lovely Maureen O'Brien, in season 2, shakes things up. Vicky is another of my favorite companions individually as well, meaning that there is no weak link, and the lineup of the first Doctor, Ian, Barbara, and Vicky, is capable of making even the weakest of stories, Hello the Space Museum, into something still fun and entertaining. So yeah, this is the best TARDIS crew as a whole in my opinion. List your favorites below. I mean, if you want to. I'm not holding a fucking gun to your head or anything. Oh fine. Be like that. See if I care. Sheesh.